Don't worry. It's a cooked carrot.
Do I know how to put it?
Say nice. Nicely, sharks.
You all seem to be some troublemakers this evening.
Molly, Nana's watching. You want to wave to Nana? Wave to Nana. She's watching. No, that's more of like a passive flop.
Like a wobbling, really.
All right. Come.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
It's supposed to happen.
Okay.
I'll just leave it on. Yes, correct. You know what I forgot? What was it? I forgot something. Lecha dodi.
No.
You like that? It's funny. Where am I? I'm like looking and I don't see any lecha dodis. Why would that not be in there? Where is that? Right? No, it's okay. Forward your horses. Horses. That might be one here.
Almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if we sing Let the Heavens Be Glad? Do you remember that? Let the heavens be glad.
Shabbos. Shabbos is coming. Shabbos is coming.
That was a good song.
Okay.
No, sir. We're in Shabbat time. That's what we are. Oh, it's that time. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're so glad that you're joining us here this evening. We have a little bit of a role reversal here tonight.
But it is a bit of a rehearsal, too.
It feels a little bit like a rehearsal,
We're gonna have,
yes.
we're going to make it freilich.
Are we going to explain?
So over the course of this week, actually a day or two ago, I slightly injured myself, not on purpose, but I'm not going to show the camera, but it's declaredly gross, according to some members of the family. And Rabbi Amy is graciously stepping into the role of guitar player.
It was a hand injury, should that not have been clear. So anyway, thank you for bearing with us this night. And we're just glad you're joining us. So we're going to sing a song that is from Psalm 96, and it's one that we used to do. We haven't done it in a while. It's called Shir Chadash, which just means sing a new song.
It can be found on page 13.
Hold on, I got a text. Good, make sure everything's okay. Every once in a while, you guys text me and you're like, the sound's not on. But thank you, just for saying Shabbat Shalom. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Chadash. One more time. Shiru l'Adonai kol ha'aretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol ha'aretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. So tonight, as always, we really begin our Shabbat experience together by doing the different Shabbat rituals, starting with the Shabbat candles. Come on up. Tonight we are doing them in honor of Naomi Schneider, whose bat mitzvah is tomorrow. We're so excited for you, Naomi, and for Aaron and for John and for Noah and the whole family who is in town. Mazel tov in advance. We know you are going to be amazing. And so we light our Shabbat candles, taking a moment to be able to sort of pause between this sacred time and the rest of the week that has just gone by. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. And we lift our Kiddush cups so that we can say the blessing over the wine, our sweet beverage of the evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari agafen.
That's gonna be nice.
Amen.
And then if you'll uncover our beautiful challah, always the last of the blessings, which is why it has to be covered, so it doesn't feel bad that the other blessings go first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And take a little taste.
Delicious.
Eggier, maybe?
And then we have been taking this time to do our family blessings. Ooh, this is fun. I get to be on Jonah's side. This is nice. All right, so I'm usually on the other side, but the guitar has to face this way so we don't poke each other. So for our sons, we say, Yesimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. May God make you like Ephraim and Menashe, Joseph's sons, who carried forward the life of our people.
And for our daughters, we say, Yisimech Elohim Kesara Rivka Rachel Valeah. May God make you great like all of our matriarchs, who led us through the wilderness, who led us through times of greatness and through times of great trial and travail.
And together we say, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha.
May God's light shine upon you and guide you as you go on your way.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's countenance be lifted over you. May be granted with wholeness and peace.
Amen.
Mwah. Shabbat shalom. So we continue now by welcoming in our Shabbat angels. Rabbi, sorry, I forgot to tell you about that one.
And our Shabbat poetry for the welcoming of angels can be found on page 24, where we are taught Shalom Alechem, a 17th century Shabbat song.
Shalom Alechem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem LaShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, malachei shalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim, kadosh baruch hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, malachei shalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
In a week filled with challenges, in a week filled with shock, in a week filled with work, we welcome Shabbat and we remember blessing that is in our life and our capability for blessing others. We join together in the Baruch Hu on page 28.
Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai.
For everything there is a time. There is a time to speak, and then there is a time to sit and to engage in sacred listening, to engage in the act of bearing witness and of being there for others. This is a prayer that signifies that idea. The prayer is the Shema. We close our eyes, we open our hearts and our minds, and we listen and pray.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
We are going on a journey as we go through this tefillah, this prayer service. And the journey takes us from the beginning of time through creation and through the Exodus. We're now at that part in the service where we cross over into a different space. I hope for all of you that as you go into this new season, that you encounter freedom and you're inspired to find new places and new spaces. We join together in the Micha Mocha on page 40.
Bailim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, mi kamocha bailim Adonai, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Yay day 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 yay day 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 yay day 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 yay day 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 yay day 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 yay day 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 yay day 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 yay day 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 day.
And as we journeyed on across the Red Sea and into Sinai, we came to a place that we were so close to God that we could see God's presence. We could speak openly to God, and we felt God's response. We encountered God. And in that spirit, we go to that place in the midbar, in the wilderness, and we, in our service, stand up. We rise for the Midah, and we encounter God in the only way that we can, in the only way that we know at this moment, which is through prayer and through song, through meditation and through imagination. So I ask you to join with me in your prayer books on page 46. As we enter into prayer.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha.
Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakom, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. As we reflect on the days to come and the opportunity to rest on Shabbos, we also reflect on the things that we've seen in this past week's headlines, in the newspapers, in the video clips, all of which have given us only the greatest cause at this moment to sing out, to call out, to cry out, and to pray for peace. We join together, Hashkiveinu. Shalom Rav, you probably should not put. All right, with Shalom Rav, which can be found on page 60.
Both of them are good and kind of have the same.
And have a similar message, which is about Shalom. May there be. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata melech adon, lechol shalom. Ki ata melech adon, lechol shalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha,
tasim la'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, tasim la'olam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol eit uv'chosha bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, tasim la'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, tasim la'olam.
And now, of course, is the time in our service where we call upon God to answer the most holy call that we're reminded that we need, the call for healing for Lisi Weinstein, for my mom, Arlene Alper, for Jerry Krause, for Charles Beach, for Amy Lampert, and for Shmuley Ben Avraham. We pray for them and for all those whose names that we haven't mentioned, but who we're thinking about and we carry in our hearts.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Yehu leratzon imrefi ve'gyolim bi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, ve'goali, ve'goali. Well, it has been another week, America. This week, Rabbi Michael and I were sort of talking about what one or both of us wanted to speak about tonight. And we were going to talk about the Parsha, which is Tazria Metzora, and, it's all about a plague, so it has seemed pretty appropriate this year. But after everything that has happened this week, after so many of us have been continuing to watch the trial about the death of George Floyd, and we've seen just so many shootings just this week, we felt like maybe we needed to do something beyond just talk about the Parsha. And we know that you come here for many reasons, right? And not like, I know that I say that a lot of times. You come here for different reasons, but really, we know that besides just wanting the community of Shabbat or coming here to celebrate a life cycle event, we know that some of you come here each week on your screens or used to be in person, and some of you are coming for comfort. And some of you are coming for inspiration, and some of you are coming because you want to be roused to action, and some of you are coming so that you just have a space where you can just turn it off for just an hour. And Rabbi Michael and I, we need that too, right? All of those things, we are looking for all of them and trying to somehow bring them to you. And for us, a lot of times what we do when we are having these conversations at our table, looking at the news, whether we're turning the pages of the Post-Dispatch or we're flipping on our phones, we often turn to each other, and this week especially, we turn to Jewish texts. And so we thought that maybe tonight what we would do for you is we would share with you the two texts that we go back to the most, the ones that really give us the inspiration and the comfort and rouse us to action, and also sometimes just give us the space we need to remember that the world can be a beautiful and holy and fixable place. So we thought that tonight we would share with you each of our very favorite Jewish texts that helps us get through what can be sometimes just very troubling times.
A text from the Talmud about Rabbi Hillel. הוא היה אומר, אם אין אני לי, מי לי, וכשאני לעצמי, מה אני, ואם לא עכשיו, אימתי. Hillel used to say, if I'm not for myself, who is for me? But if I am for myself only, what am I? And if not now, when? It is the holding of these three things in a sacred balance that allows me to create a kind of framework for what I've experienced and what I've seen and what I'm still trying to unfold, unravel, and reckon with. Hu haya omer, im ein ani li, mi li. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? This week, I read this as practice self-care. Take care of yourself. If you're going to presume that you can even take care of anyone else, first, start with yourself. Make the choices that maybe you've been struggling to make in terms of self-care. Maybe start to give up some of the things that you've gotten used to in terms of the use of drugs and alcohol, bad habits. Maybe you've been putting off seeing a doctor, or maybe there are other things that really you know in your heart you need to take care of. You have to start with you. Practice self-care. Shani latzmi ma'ani. But the world isn't just revolving around you. You are part of something that we call Kehillah. You are responsible. Kol Yisrael aravim zeh v'zeh. Everybody, all of Israel, everyone in the world, we're neighbors. We are responsible for one another. And we cannot pretend that what is going on is not going on with a brother or a sister. A fellow human being is made in the image of God, and we are inherently, sacredly connected to them. Ve'ematai, lo achshav ve'ematai. The decisions that you've been waiting on, taking care of yourself, picking up the phone to call that person that you've been thinking about, checking in on. Stop waiting. Now is the time. The decisions that you've been thinking about with regard to self-care and the care of others. Don't hold off. Don't put them off. Take responsibility now. Now is the time.
The text that means the most to me is, perhaps not so coincidentally, but from the same part of the Talmud, really the Mishnah that Rabbi Michael's quote is from Pirkei Avot. The text that means the most to me says, Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, v'lo ta ben chorin lihi batel mimena. It's not up to you to finish the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. So what is a coincidence is actually this year in our religious school, the students have been taking a time each month to do what we're calling Yom Tzedek, a day where they are looking at different sort of ways to be involved with social justice around the community, around the world. And the quote that they're focusing on this week actually happens to be that one. And I love it because it's a quote that is relatable to so many people. It's one that I think about even with little tasks in my day. I think about it when I have so much laundry to do, or when I just have so many things that need to be done, taking care of my family, taking care of the synagogue, and I say to myself, Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor. It's not up to me. It's not up to you to finish all the work. It's a reminder that every part of your life, there really is someone who can help you. There is always someone to whom you can reach out for guidance or for comfort or just to get you through that one task. It's not up to you to do everything. You still have to do it, though. But perhaps more importantly, when we are thinking about just sort of what a mess the world is right now, and I know that for so many of us, you look at everything that's going on, and for some of us, we are signing every petition, and we're calling every senator, and we're going to every march, and some of us are like, oh my gosh, I just want to watch a cat video, right? I can't focus anymore. I cannot hear all this terrible news. And this quote is a reminder that you have to somehow live in the middle. You do not have permission to just turn it off. You are a part of this kahila. You are a part of this community, whether you think you're thinking about Temple Israel or St. Louis or Missouri or America. You are part of this world and you need to do something to fix it. But let it not overwhelm you. Know that whatever there is to do, you are not going to be the one to finish it. You personally will not fix it and make everything right. You just have to work a little bit at it. Now we know that when you are looking at the news and you're looking at what's going on, that there are so many things to be upset about. And Rabbi Michael and I talked and we said, should we be giving them a list of who to call and a list of what to do? And the truth is, we know that you know. We know that you know the people to call and the organizations with which you can get involved. You can call us and ask if you want to, but our job is not really to tell you what to do. Our job is to say that there is a Jewish context for every decision that you're making. And we hope that you will remember these words. We hope that you will remember, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? Even if I'm only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? We hope you'll remember that it's not up to you to finish the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. And so we take a few moments now and we remember those who came before us. We think of all of those who are gone and who our hearts are still mourning. And we recall now with love the names of those taken from us in recent days, and our hearts go out to their families in sympathy as we recall their names, Steve Edison and Jacob Louderback. We now recall the names of those, the anniversary of whose death occurs on this Shabbat, and whose names have been inscribed in the archives of our congregation or on the Wall of Honor for perpetual memorial. Harry Alschuler, Dr. Albert E. Auer, David Barron, Della Berger, Samuel Berliner, Ruth Berry, Bernard Blumenfeld, Oliver Wendell Braun, Dr. Norman Chasen, Arthur Epstein, Richard Ferrer, Harold Fishman, Max Fox, Bertha Gantz, Sarah Zinberg Garland, Carl Glazer Jr., Janet Glickman Bloomberg, Sybil Goldfarb, Louis Goldman, Jane Freund Harris, David Nevin Jacobson, Abe Kahani, Jacob Lasky, Dr. Susan Strauss Lipschitz, Annette Neumetzger, Anna K. Newmark, Solomon Offenbach, Isidore Pass, Rose Putterman, J. Ben Reichman, Dr. Milton Reiser, Louis J. Ross, Leo L. Rostenberg, Leah Mendel Salinger, Sidney Salinger, May Siegel, Celia Siegfried, Ruth B. Smith, Stanley D. Victor, Estelle Washauer, Jonas Wheel II, Jesse Weiss, Moses Mayer Weiss, Audrey Weissman, Alan Winterman, Lester Whittles. So those names and the names we keep in our hearts, we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 294.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yom echon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael,
Bagala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'olmei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Ta'miran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
May the source of peace and strength to all who mourn. And together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'imramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
So we are in this period of the Jewish calendar that we sometimes lovingly call the Yoms. And so we had Yom HaShoah and then Yom HaZikaron, and they end those two sad holidays, remembering those who are lost in the Holocaust and remembering those Israeli soldiers that fell protecting Israel. The trio of holidays concludes with Yom HaAtzmaut, which we just celebrated this week, and so we thought that this would be an appropriate time to sing the Israeli national anthem.
Which can be found on page 374 at the bottom.
Beautiful.
Kol od balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homiya ufate mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia. Od lovda tikvatenu, hatikva bat shnot alpayim, liyotam chofshi beyatzenu eretz Zion Yerushalayim. Liyotam chofshi beyatzenu eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
Shabbat Shalom.
Everybody find it?
I just can't play it.
I guess that's one of my magical tricks. That and not putting the wrong song in front of everybody while I'm waiting. No offense. And now we're going to be singing.
Focused, man.
You are really distracting. I'm putting the wrong song in front of a dude. I think what's your whole thing? Put the stuff in front. And then we're going to do a song about also a different song about this city. And now to sing She Denu.